The best thing to do is read the instructions, read what the manufacturer recommends, and then go from there. So on this demonstration, we are going to give you an alternative on a glued down tile. Instead of using the adhesive spread, we're going to use adhesive tape. This is adhesive tape. It's two-sided, very sticky. Starting out, we're going to use this piece of plywood here as our room to show you where you need to put the tape and how it needs to be installed. What we're going to do is we're going to start on the edge up against the wall, and we're going to put down the tape. Just like this, leaving the paper on the face of it, and we're going all the way down to the other wall. And then we're going to roughly get where our 12 inches would be, and we're going to run every 12 inches another piece of tape. And as we start our tile in the corner of the wall, we're going to run every 24 inches. We're going to run a piece of tape out this way. And I'm just using the tile as a gauge.
So your plan is to make sure that there is tape underneath every edge of every plank. Is that correct?
All four edges of the tile, yes. Even on the ends of the wall.
Even though you will ultimately have trim there, you're still going to go ahead and tape it down.
Yes. That way I know for sure that the tile won't curl.
Oh, you've got a nail there. Sorry.
We're going to eliminate that nail.
Now what are you doing there?
I am cutting the overlap tape off.
Okay.
So it doesn't do a buildup, so that way I don't have to worry about whether one tile is going to be smoother than the other.
Oh, I see. Keep it from raising the tile itself, basically, by having too much under it.
Yeah, make sure that it stays level. It's kind of like a checkerboard, is what you're doing.
So you can also just cut it so that there isn't an overlap if you want to do that instead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This tape is thick enough that you're not necessarily holding a plank up to make sure you're 12 inches away from the other side, because what is this, 2-inch thick tape?
2 inch. So once I got my checkerboard down for my tiles, then what you want to do is just pull back to 24 inches.
So you're pulling the paper up and it's leaving the adhesive behind completely.
Yep.
And now you have a rectangle of adhesive that's basically the same size and shape as our tile.
As our tile. And then you would just square the tile up to start. Make sure your tile's square. And you just lay it down and press.
I notice you're peeling a lot of your tape up all at once. Some people have said to leave it in place.
That's on double-sided tape. On double-sided tape, you only want to pull off what you're going to use.
Right. But this is not double-sided tape.
This is not double-sided tape. This is adhesive.
What's the difference?
This is more like a glue.
Okay. It basically leaves glue down in place for you.
Yep. When it gets on there, it's on there. It's very hard to get it back off. They do make a two-sided tape, but this is not it. This is adhesive. And as you can tell, if you work with it and you pull it up tight when you drop it in there, it makes a nice seam. Just like it would if you were gluing it down solid. And it's very important that you make sure your ends are tight before you get to rubbing a whole lot. That way you don't have to worry about moving it once it's down.
Now, are you okay with that small amount of tape there, or do you want to
Yes.
lay another seam down?
No, it only takes about a 1/4 inch.
Oh, okay, so the extra is just extra for us.
As you can tell, it's right easy
Sure is.
to apply the adhesive tape and then lay the flooring.
You're also not worried about having a row going down the middle of this tile either.
No.
You think that it's sufficient to just go along the borders?
Yep. Now on a 24 by 24, you might want to put a small piece in the center.
Okay.
You know, like maybe a 2-inch by 2-inch piece just right in the center. And the more you smooth this down, the easier it is to get the paper off of it, off the top.
You mean pressing down on the...
Yeah, go ahead and press this down good and tight.
sort of flatten it?
And that way the adhesive will bond to your subfloor.
Okay.
Well, this one right here. See, it didn't get down, so I'm pulling up the glue and everything.
Gotcha.
But if you rub it good, like this, when you go to pull it up, it leaves the glue down.
Perfect.
Now we're going to show you how to stagger one. Nope, we didn't stagger it. We ran a straight run, 24 by 12.
In this case, you're just eyeballing it, which you can do.
Yep.
You don't actually have to measure. It can be an 8-inch stagger, a 12-inch stagger, it can be a half, a third, it can be random, whatever you want, really.
Yeah, it could be 6, 8, 10, 12.
As long as your manufacturer directions say that's all right.
A lot of people do it. Ben's, it's a 24-inch tile. They will do a 12-inch offset.
And since the tape is so thick, eyeballing the center of a 12-inch tile is actually pretty easy.
Yeah, you can usually tell. Now, if you've done 6-inch or 8-inch, you might want to go through and measure and just mark it on your plywood or on your subfloor.
So once again, you're trying not to do the overlap any more than you have to.
Yep. You can just lay out all your design on the floor, put your tape down, and then go back in and start laying. Because you know what you want to do and you know the size of your tile, that you can make a design and tape it down. And when you do offset, what we're going to do is we're going to start it about 12 inches. And we're going to put it down.
Now, in our case, there's no wall over here to deal with. In reality, you'd probably have to cut that first.
Yeah, you would have to cut the first piece 12 inches and lay it. And then you could take the remainder, if you could take the remainder of this and save it. So when you got to the other end of the room,
Right.
you might only need 6 inches of it.
Right, and it's already there.
And you've got it and you don't waste.
So we just went right through that nail for our demo, didn't we?
I didn't think you was going to film the nail part.
Just caught it accidentally. You've got 2 rows here that are clearly...
The basic standard end to end, and then we have 1 row where we offsetted the end joints. And the nice thing about offsetting it is, if you want to do a design, you don't have to do 6 inches every time. Like you could come back in and do something like this, so that it gives you a little different look.
So you've almost randomized it into the eye.
Say something happened that, I don't know, you dropped something, spilt something, and this one plank right here in the middle of the floor got damaged. Well, it's real easy to take your utility knife and get under it, and grab a hold of it and pull it up.
Okay.
The nice thing about you can take one plank out of the center, and then you can take and just put down adhesive again. You want to do, again, all fours.
Okay.
Because this is a replacement.
So you want to be sure.
You want to make sure that it's down. And it doesn't have to be right up tight against the other tile.
Okay. It doesn't have to be exact. You've left a 1/4 of an inch. That's not going to hurt anything, you say?
No. And you do the same thing. You put it down, then you take all that out. And this is the reason you always buy extra tiles.
So you have them.
So that when accidents happen, you got it made. So you take and you get it flush there, hold it tight, drop it in place. And before you press anywhere, you want to go ahead and get all your corners, all the ends down.
Okay.
To make sure they're locked in. And then you can rub it down. And you just repair the tile in the middle of the floor.
That took you about 4 minutes.
So,
and it fits right in.
Fits right in.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going nowhere. It fits right in because all the tiles are the same size, same thickness. And that's the reason you buy extra. Is so that you can repair anything, and then that way you don't have to replace the whole floor. We have shown you we have done this little demonstration to show you a different way of installing flooring, glued down flooring. Now, the best thing to do is though to read the instructions, read what the manufacturer recommends, and then go from there.
But if you want to tape it, this is how you can tape it.
Yeah, and if you want to tape it down like we did, this is how you do it. And like I say, it's very easy.